Okay, now what I want to do is go through and add commands here for these to become links that would then actually open a browser. We also want to color these to a link as well. So let me go into my view model and I'll create the 3 commands here. Let's add the methods to actually handle these commands. Let's go ahead and assign these. For the NuGet URL, every package has a URL. So let's go and find any package here, and we'll just get the format of the URL that we need to use here. Okay, so then we'll replace this part. Package, get rid of that. Okay. Okay, let's go and set the color as well. Let's run it. Okay, let's try it out. Okay, so now I can see that we've got the coloration here. They look like links. They're not doing anything right because we haven't actually wired up the tap gesture recognizer here. So let me close out of this. For each one of these labels, I need to hook up the command whenever it's tapped. Copy this. There we go. Okay, now let's try it one more time. Okay, forgot to bring these guys in. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so this should go to the page on NuGet for that particular package. Okay, that looks right. Project site. Okay, it looks good. License, okay. Okay, so that also looks good. Let's go back here. Let me click on a different one. This one here, okay. This one I believe doesn't have a project site or a license. One of these two is not available. Oh, it's not that one, so let's go back. Let's try view license. Okay, right, so we can see that this doesn't have a license, so that link shouldn't even be shown for this particular template. And then while I'm at it, I'll similarly hide these if these links are not valid. So let me go back to my view model here. Alright, so let's go here and make a few new properties here. And then I'll go back and show or hide this based on that. And I'll just hide the entire region here. So we're going to add this to each one of these. So I'll copy this, paste it here, and then go back and copy the actual names of the properties which I've just added here. So it has license, has NuGet, paste, and then it has project site. Okay, let's try it again. Let me go back to that same one. Yeah, here it is. Okay, now I can see there's no license URL, but these guys are still working, so that's good. Okay, great. So now what I want to do is I want to replace these with some custom icons here. So we'll go through it, we'll get the icons, add them to the project, and then go from there. I have some images that we can use in a folder here. Let me go and grab those. So I go to images. So here's a globe icon. We're going to use that for go to project site, a license icon for the license link, and a NuGet icon for NuGet. Let me copy these three and then go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste these into the resources folder in the iOS project. We could add these to the asset catalog, but for now I'll just go through and add this as a resource and go from there. Alright, so I'm going to go back into Visual Studio, stop the emulator there, and in resources I'm going to add those three files. I'm going to go back and just double check that the build action was set to bundle resource, which it was. So now I should be able to reference these. Okay, so instead of tab about for the NuGet, I'll say NuGet logo. Okay, and then for the project site, we're going to use the globe. And for this one, we use icon license. And then, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Alright, let's try it, make sure that worked right. And then we'll go from there. Alright, now I can see the NuGet logo, the globe, and the license here. I'm noticing that the icon here is cut off, so what I'm going to do is add a bit of margin to the bottom here. We've got 10 on top, so let's make it 10 on bottom for each one of these as well. And try it again. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. I think I'm gonna actually make this 5 actually for the first two, and we'll leave 10 for the remainder. And then I think so now let's make another commit now that we're pretty much done with this page, and then we'll visit the update templates functionality here. So let me go through and make my commit. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started on update templates. For now we just have a placeholder page here. Okay, so what we want to do is there's a version of this JSON file that's served by that website that I showed you before that has the latest content. And we just downloaded a older version of that and included it with the app to make sure that if a user downloaded it from the App Store, that the app would work without needing any internet connection. So now to implement the update template step, what we need to do is basically download the file from the internet, save it on the device, and then use that file instead of what was shipped with the app itself. And that saving and loading files from the device is a device-specific operation. So what I'm going to do is add an interface for that inside my shared project, and then I'll add the implementation into my device-specific projects here. So in this case, I just have the iOS project. If you had Android or other device-specific projects, you would add an implementation to each of those as well. So in .NET Mobile, I'm going to add a new class file. I'll call it iSaveAndLoad. Okay, we'll get rid of this. We'll make it an interface. Okay, so this interface will just have 4 methods here. Save text. Load text. And then download and save. And then a method to tell us if the file exists or not. Alright, perfect. So now in my .NET, in the iOS project, I'll add the actual implementation. Okay, I'm just gonna I'm gonna add a helper property here. Okay, so for does file exist, we'll just basically path combine and then return if that exists or not. Alright, let's go to save text and then we'll revisit the other ones. Okay, let's build this one more time. Oh, this actually should be a, oops. Okay, let me go back to this interface. Okay, right, save, okay, good. Save that. Alright, so that's good. Now it should build, I think. Okay, so we need to go back to the view model here and update the functionality of when the inside the template packs view model of the JSON file getting loaded. Okay, so here it is. So get JSON file contents. So this is the code that we need to read the file that's actually shipped with the that's embedded inside the application itself. But what we want to do is update this to where it can look to see if the file exists in the place that we are looking for, and if so, let's go ahead and load it from there. So let's add that functionality here. Go here, and I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, we'll go back. And then the file name we're looking for, we'll just call it .NET-template-report. And then when we implement the update, we'll have to use that same name. Alright, so now if this file has been saved on the device, it will return the contents of that file. And for the catch operator here, we're not going to do anything. We'll just let it go down into the normal logic of loading the embedded file here. Okay, so now we need to go and implement the update page. So let me save this. Going back to my mockup. The update page is very simple. It's just a button that says update templates. So let me go into that view and we'll add that button. Okay. We'll also set the title here as well. So let me go ahead and do that first. Let's set the width here to 200, and we'll say for background color, there's some colors actually identified with the Forms project, so I'll just say primary. And then I'll set the text color to white. Alright, we'll need to create a new command to handle this button click. Go ahead and give it a name. Okay, and then we probably should have some text letting the user know that the update was complete. So we'll also add a binding for this, and then we'll go back and add that when we're done. Say result message. Close out of that. Okay, so now I need to create a view model that has an update templates command.